Hello, it's Paul, and thank you for coming to watch me today. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I thank you for coming to listen today. Today's video is going to be a bit different. It's actually a training video, and it's primarily for the people that are in my business, in a fuel-saving business. We have a fabulous little tablet, and the company is called Accelerate. So primarily, this training is for you guys, because I know some of you have asked me various questions, and it's prompted me to put a little training together. It's been a while since I've done a training. I used to do many trainings over the years, and but it's been a while, so it's been a nice challenge to actually put something together. I've got a notebook. If you see me look down, it's because I've made notes. So I've learned that over the years. We can't rely on the brain there, the filing cabinet, because we're not quite sure which drawer we put it in. So it's good to make notes. You can refer back to notes quite quickly. So if you're new here today, I thank you for coming to look at my video and see what we're going to talk about. And if it would be okay if you just press the subscribe button, and it helps me with the algorithms with YouTube. Most people actually press the little bell above as well, the top one with a little ringer thing around it, then obviously in future you can get to see all the videos as I make them, so that makes it a lot quicker. So I appreciate and thank you very much for that too. So what we're going to talk about today is 5 words that get you an immediate yes, because most people are running their business, talking to people, and they're finding that they're using the wrong words. Well, they're not aware that they're using the wrong words, but I've realized over the years some of the words I've used just keep getting me no's. I'm thinking, well, this is a great opportunity, and the pay plan's great, and the product's really good. Why is everyone saying no? Couldn't understand it. Until I went to a few trainings and a few seminars, and I took some notes, and then it became crystal clear. So today's about giving you 5 good words, as well as a few other things, 5 good words to get you instant yeses. Would that be okay? Yeah, thought it would be. Okay, that's great. But what I'd like to do is encourage you to make some notes. Don't rely on that little filing cabinet up there, because that's grey matter. But make some notes, and that's what I've done over the years. I've learnt that. Get a journal, get a book, and I've bought another book recently to make my words a little bit bigger, so it's easy for me to look down and see what I'm looking at. But I hope you get good value out of today. And if you've found that you've got several no's over the last few days, the last few weeks, that's about a change. If you make a conscious effort to follow the simple things that I'm going to put together for you today, and just change some of the words you've got around with some different words. And it's not a whole sentence. It doesn't have to be a whole sentence. It's 4 or 5 words that makes a huge difference. You'll get something out of it. You'll get a bit of a buzz out of it, but also you'll start building a business, and things will start working for you. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. It's like anything else in life, okay? So please take notes. Get a little book, get a journal. Yes, you can rewind the video and go it again, but taking notes is a little bit like reading. If someone reads you a story, and you read the book yourself, you get the drama. It's nice to have a story read to you, but if you actually write it all down, you read it, as you're reading it, everything unfolds. And that's a little bit like that when you take notes. As you're writing the notes down, other things come to mind. Oh yeah, I remember that bit. There's certain things that you're going to remember. So it's worth doing that. So today I want to change those 5 words that don't work for 5 words that do work, okay? So people in general are what we call pre-sold. Let me explain what I mean by that. If I was to say to someone, well, do you want to live a long life, or do you want to die quickly? They can say, oh, a long life. I said, okay, that's pre-sold. Would you like to look 10 years younger? We've actually got a television program here in the UK, and it's called How to Look 10 Years Younger. And they do various things, and at the end of the program, they do look 10 years younger. Would you like to look? Well, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Would you like to save money on utilities? Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this country is no different than any other country. Our gas bill's gone through the roof. The electric's just absolutely ridiculous. And now fuel's going up, which is great for us in Accelerate, because we're in the fuel saving business, the money saving business. That's what we do. But we just need to get the words in the right order to make sure that we save money for people as quick as we possibly can. So in general, people are saying, yes, I'd like to live longer. I'd like to look younger. Yes, I'd like to save money on utilities. Well, what about fuel? How do you think about the price of fuel? What do you think about that? I think it's outrageous. I think it's over the top. Have you noticed what's happening in the last week and a half? Where I live on the borders of Nottingham and Lincolnshire, diesel, well, I've got a little diesel car, so diesel in general, that's what I'm mainly looking at, has gone from £1.79 a litre up to 1.85, and in some places 1.99. So it's jumped 20 pence a litre just in the last week and a half. Now, we're used to it jumping maybe 1 or 2 pence a litre over a period of weeks, but now people are scouring around, they're driving different areas looking for cheaper garages, and they're actually getting quite frustrated. So they're having to settle for whatever the price is in their area, and they're hoping it's still staying under 190. But in many places it's not, especially on the main roads. It's getting ridiculous. A friend of mine, Graham, up in Newcastle, sent me a photograph last week, and he drives an HGV lorry at weekends, and he stopped at Tamworth Services in Staffordshire, sent me a photograph, and it showed you diesel was £2.14 a litre. That's absolutely mad. I thought Peterborough services were bad enough at 2.02. So that photograph is going into my email update. Along with this video, I send an email update to the people in my team. So if you'd like to be added to that email update, because there's several things I'm adding to that and that will really benefit you. It doesn't matter if you're in my team or not. I've been doing this kind of thing for 40 years. And I've learned that we all want to get on, so it doesn't matter. I don't need to make money from you. I'm here to help people in my team, and I'm here to help the company, because the more I look at Accelerate, I'm very impressed with it. I'm very impressed with their customer service, very impressed with what they're doing. It didn't take too many days for me to get my product. I was expecting it to take 2 weeks, and it only took 9 days when I ordered my product. And other people in the UK in my team said it was about the same time. I thought, well, that's pretty good. It's coming from America, That's I've waited longer for things that I've ordered online, thinking I would get it quicker. So I'm impressed with what I do, and when I like a company, I'm going to go for it. I'm interested. I have another business, which is my primary business, which is going to be the world's biggest IT company, and we're going to launch in the next handful of weeks very soon, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. I've been with it 3 years now, and it's been very exciting times, and I'm really looking forward to that launching, because it has a platform that I'm able to put Accelerate fuel tabs on. So once I can do that and we launch and we open, I'm going to put Accelerate fuel tabs on there, because I'm very satisfied with what's happened with me, both with my car and the fuel tablets and income. I've only been in it a couple of weeks, but I've made over $200, and I haven't really gone out and sold anything. I haven't gone out to get retail customers at all. So it's not something that you have to make sales. No, you don't. You can make sales if you wish. I personally didn't. I just wanted to help some friends save money, and that's what I've really focused on. Let me help you save money. People love you, and they'd be a great friend if you can help them save money. But if you just want to keep taking money off them, it's a no-no. And that's why people get so many no's. That's one of the downfalls, and that's one of the mistakes people make. So it's been a good time. It's been very, very easy. But I found that, say, people are pre-sold, and because they're pre-sold, we've just got to say the right words at the right time. So when our big company launches that I'm involved with, most people actually have 1 or 2 or 3 businesses, don't they? I have a job actually that I do. I start early in the mornings, and it's only about 4 to 5 hours, which is great. So I get the rest of the day to myself, and I can concentrate on my internet businesses, which has been nice. Now I can concentrate on this. But it's dawned on me that every time I go out now, with the fuel tab business, that everyone I'm looking at, it literally is a prospect. They are a customer or a member, because most people are driving cars. They're going somewhere. They're going to work. They're going to take the kids somewhere. They're delivering something. They're traveling somewhere, and it's a massive market. So although the world looks like it's doom and gloom with all these bills going through the roof, do you know what? You're in the right place at the right time, because it's not a problem for us, because on average, you can save, from what I've seen and what I've experienced, you can save an average of 20%. Now, some people are experiencing 10, 12, 14%, but I've got people that I've seen and spoke to, and they said, well, actually, we've got 26% and more. So it does depend on the type of vehicle that you've got. It does depend on the mileage of that car. I think the older the mileage, the better results you're going to get, because what this product does, as you've probably seen from some of the videos, it burns carbon. So the more carbon is burning, the better your car's going to run. So the longer we're using these fuel tabs in our cars, our engine's actually getting younger and younger instead of older and older, that really appeals to me. I like that. So servicing costs are going to come down, general running costs are going to come down. And one thing I've noticed with my little diesel, I've got a little small Volvo diesel. It's only a 1.6, but it used to chug a bit once I first got it started. And if I sit on tick over, it would kind of chug. In the last 2 weeks, that chugging has stopped. That alone, I thought, oh, it's starting to work. I wasn't really expecting huge responses for about 2 to 3 weeks. I think I've got to put maybe 1 or 2 or 3 tablets in it, and then 1 or 2 tankfuls before I see some real good things. But hey, it's a new venture. It's a very exciting venture, and in the first month, in the first 6 weeks, I know I'm going to see some results. In any business, that's fantastic news. That's really good news for me. So I've done many businesses in the past. I've done, say, a home-based business on network marketing on and off for the best part of 40 years. And in the old days, we used to do presentations in hotels. We get everybody in. And I quite like presentations. Personally, I quite like them. The general public don't. And that's what we've got to realise. Most people actually don't like presentations. Do you remember when people used to go to Spain and they'd have a free holiday as long as they sat through a timeshare? Oh, it'd be great, it'd be okay. And then when they got there, and the sunshine was great, and they got their cocktails, and then they got absolutely badgered. And a lot of people come away saying, do you know what? It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth the holiday to get badgered. We didn't want to buy anything. Some people got talked into buying something, They didn't like that, didn't like presentations. So it was quite funny. And now, years later, when I look back at those presentations in the hotels, I went all over the country and all over the world, some of them, people sort of shut the doors at the back. There's a couple of guys at the back, looked like bouncers really, and everyone was locked in. And it was crazy because we had an hour's presentation and people sat there, the guests sat there, and you got a few that sat there with their arms folded. I mean, you know what kind of decision, that they've already made, okay? So you could see that. But afterwards you think, oh, great, you're going to come and join us in business? Do you want to join? Do you want to join? What do you think then? What do you think? And it's all the wrong things we're saying there. What do you think? Instead of saying, well, what did you like best about it? Well, what did you think? Well, I wasn't quite sure. Didn't like the speaker, didn't like this, wasn't sure about the product. And then they go away. I have to speak to my wife about it. That's the old favourite, isn't it? Or I don't make decisions on my own. Need to talk to my partner. And they go away. And then we meet them a week later, and then we give them more information. And the reality is we've overloaded them with information, because the reality is people don't like presentations so much. Some of us do, but a lot of people don't like presentations. They just want a handful of facts to make a decision. And the reality is people that are pre-sold make very quick decisions. Think about YouTube videos that you watch. As you're flicking through these YouTube videos, how quick is it that you actually decide on a YouTube video? It's around about 5 seconds, okay? Think about it. It's about 5 seconds. It's the same when you're playing with that TV remote. You're flicking. And within 5 seconds, you found something. Now, it's either one or two things. It's the title. It's a short title. Oh, that's a catchy title. I want to watch that. Or it's the person. You think, oh, he's a great speaker. I really want to hear him. Him or her is fantastic. But it's 5 seconds normally, and you've made an instant decision. So that's what I really wanted to put together for you today. I've put these words together, and they're not my words. They're words that I made notes of over the past few years ago with really good speakers. And I've got my diaries and I've got my journals back out again and said, let me go through my notes, because, looking through these things, we've got to make sure that people are not sitting with people with their arms folded, because that's an instant no. We don't want that. And think about this, ladies, have you ever met a young man and within 2 or 3 minutes you've decided whether you're going to spend time with that person or you're not going to spend time with that person? Yeah, of course you have, okay? Instant decision. Now, guys, was that fair? No, it's not fair at all. We haven't given them our presentation. We haven't said how romantic we are, how kind we are. We love kids, right? And we're very generous, of course. We've got a house, we've got a car. We haven't given them the whole presentation. They don't have the information on us, but they made a split decision that we're in or out, and that's it. Now, what about guys? Let's not leave you out. Have you ever entered a relationship where you haven't got all the information? perhaps you've got married. And did you get all the information? No. Some of us did it twice. Did we get all the information? No. We got a handful of facts. I used to sell cars for a very large motor group in the UK, big garage all over the UK. Smash it, huge place, Marshalls. And when people came in for cars, I made a point when I went for that position as sales executive that I actually said to the manager when I saw him, I said, "Are you looking for a non-pushy sales exec?" And he kind of looked at me a bit strange and said, "Actually, yeah, that'd be quite good." I said, "Because I hate pushy people, and I think customers hate pushy people." So when people came to me, I didn't say, I'm here to sell you a car. I said, "I'm not here to sell you a car. I'm here to help you buy one." They go, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, just give me a week in the life of your car, Monday to Sunday. What do you do?" And I'd sit there and write notes. I'd listen to them. And that's the biggest thing that people don't do. We talk a lot, don't we? I talk a lot, as you know. But we don't listen. We need to listen as well, to these people. And I'd write notes. What did he use it for? I know, midweek we used it for this and that. Then the seats went down, and at the weekend my husband goes off fishing, night fishing. So we leaves the car from Saturday night till Sunday lunchtime because he's gone night fishing. Okay, so you carry that. So they've got an estate car, but then I work out what they've got, and they say, "Well, how much are you looking to spend?" "Oh, I suppose we have to spend about 20,000. And I'd find out what they want the car for. What are their needs, really? That's what, even looking at what we're doing now, what are this person's needs? It's not always the money. These days, it's savings, and we're in the right business for that. But I'd find out what they wanted, and they didn't actually need a big estate car. They got away with an easy hatchback, and they go, "Oh, right." I said, "Well, it's easier to park, and also I'll probably saved you £5,000 to £6,000. And they go, "Great." Now, my manager at the time thinking, "Why did you do that? You've lost us money." And I said, No, I've gained us a customer. I said, because that person could have walked quite easily if they felt pressurised into buying an estate car they didn't really need. Then you're trying to sell warranties, you're trying to sell finance, you're trying to sell wheel protection, you're trying to sell tyre protection, all these add-ons. It pressurises people. And you know what? They don't become your friend. So, I find the best way is not pressurise anybody. I never convince anybody about what I'm doing or what they should look at. I just give them a handful of facts. So that's the best way. And that's what today's about. It's about a handful of facts. So, we didn't get all the facts when we got married, right? So when you buy a house, you're going, "Oh, look at this, And, if you go and buy a car, it doesn't matter when does piston 3 come up and down? I don't know. I just want to drive it. Does it feel nice? Does it feel like my car? If it feels like my car, I'm going to buy it. If it doesn't feel like mine, it doesn't matter what the price is. It could be as cheap as chips. I don't want to buy it. It doesn't feel like mine. I learned that when I had a classic car showroom. An old fella told me that. He said, "Oh, I'm not worried about the price." I thought, "Oh, really? That's good." And he said, "No, it either feels like mine or it doesn't." And I thought, wow, yeah, lesson learned. Didn't need to hear that again, So, but how many times, have we done that? We've gone into things and we haven't got all the information. You actually don't need all the information. So people watching this business, what we're in now, and people looking at this video, let me tell you something which you'll find quite strange. You're not in the nutritional business. You're not in the crypto business. You're not in the weight loss business. You're not in the skincare business. You're not in the saving fuel business. Yeah, I go, "Really? No, your companies are, but you're not. We're not. Do you know what we're in? We are in the decision-making business. Our job, if it's a job, our role is to help people make a decision. One that's good for them, and it ends up being very good for us. That's what we get paid for. We get paid for helping people make decisions. Okay? So, let's turn that page over. Yep, we're in the decision business. When asked, people say to me, "What do you do? What do you do, Paul?" And especially as I've got my job, but I've got my part-time ventures, as I call them. I call them adventures. I don't call them ventures. Ventures is like business, right? I've got a part-time adventure. So there's another little word. It's one word that would work very well for you. Take the word opportunity away. Have you got an opportunity? No, I've got a part-time adventure. Adventure. I like the sound of that. Yeah, it's more fun, right? Absolutely.